Good morning, students. Today we are going to continue the fourth lesson from commerce. Fourth lesson is financial market. There we have completed the meaning, definition, scope, and types and the role of financial market. You might have understood what the financial market does. It collects the savings from the individuals and all the business institutions, and they are providing that funds to the industrial sectors or for the government for their activities. So they perform many activities, and it was classified also on the basis of the type of financial crime and all the other things we have learned and its role. So today we are going to learn the functions and the differences between new issue market and secondary market, and the last heading, the classification of financial assets. So now we will start the functions of financial market. Functions of financial market. What is the meaning functions? What are the works that financial market do? That functions are classified into two: intermediary functions and the financial functions. Okay, there are two functions: intermediary functions and financial functions. The first type is intermediary functions. So from the word itself, intermediary, we know that intermediary means middleman. So one person is acting in between two persons. The same way, this financial market is also acting as an intermediary between the lender and the borrower. So it has many intermediary functions. Let us see each one. There are 7 functions. We will see each one in detail. First one is transfer of resources. So what does it do? From the meaning itself, we can come to know easily. It is transferring the resources from the lenders to the borrowers. So it collects the amount or the excess the savings of the lenders, and it is providing that amount, that funds to the borrowers, maybe the institutions or the government or any trading concerns for their trading activities. So the first intermediary function is the transfer of resources from lenders to borrowers. Then second one, enhancing income. Enhancing means increasing. Since the financial market that collect all the excess savings from the lenders or the public or the individuals, it is providing interest or dividend for their investment. Investment means their earnings. So they could earn the interest or dividend for their savings. So it is increasing the individual's income. So each person's income is increasing if they invest their savings in the financial market, and at large it is increasing the national income. So the country's income is increasing because it is increasing the per capita income. So that is the second point, enhancing income. It increases the income of the individuals. So the third point is productive usage. The financial markets collect the funds from the investors, the saving community, and it is investing, and that funds are used for productive purposes. They are investing for productive purposes. So it increases, already the second point we have studied, it is increasing the income, and since it is used for the productive purposes, the gross national production is also increasing. So we say it as GDP, gross domestic product, that is given as gross national production. So that income is increasing as well as the gross national production is also increasing. That is what every country needs to increase, gross national production. The fourth point is capital formation, because it is acting as a channel which flows the savings to the productive purposes. So all the savings is not kept in their own houses in the piggy banks, but they invest the same savings in the companies or institutions where they use this capital. So that lead to the capital formation of the company. What is the meaning of capital formation? The amount is used in either for the productive purposes or for the business purposes, not keeping idle at home or in the business houses as the currency notes. We may not keep the currency notes in our house, but if we use the same amount for the productive purposes in the country, either we deposit the money in the bank or in any savings deposit, that money is used for the productive purposes. So that lead to the capital formation. That is why the financial market acts as the channel which flow the savings to aid the capital formation. The next point is price determination. The fifth point is price determination. Price determination of what? The financial assets. That is what they buy and sell in the financial market. So how they are deciding the price of these financial assets? Who is determining the price of these financial assets? First, it is determined by the buyers and sellers, those who are engaged in the financial market. Through their interaction. So the price is determined for the financial assets through the interaction of the buyers and sellers. And how does it depend upon how the price increases and how the price decreases? It depends upon the demand and supply of the financial assets. That is the usual trend, how the price is determined. Even if we go to buy the vegetables or fish, whatever from the market, how the price varies. The price goes high if there is more demand for that particular commodity. If there is no demand, then the price does not increase, it decreases. Understood? So how the price is determined? It is determined by the demand and supply of the financial assets. And it is who is determining this price of these financial assets? The buyers and sellers, those who are engaged in the financial market. Understood? The fifth point. Now we will see the sixth point. Sixth point, sale mechanism. This financial market is acting as a sale mechanism for the investors. So whenever these investors need to sell their financial assets, it is easily done through this financial market. So they can market their securities or their assets. So, and whenever they want to convert their assets into cash, they can do that. That is called liquidity. Liquidity means that easily convertible into cash. Marketability means we can market, we can buy or sell. So these investors can enjoy the benefits of marketability and liquidity of the financial assets. You have understood? Financial market acts as a selling mechanism for the investors. How? Whenever they want to sell their assets, they can sell, or they can buy. They are easily able to buy their financial assets. So they provide marketability and liquidity of the financial assets. Now the seventh point, information. Here many participants are engaged in the financial market, maybe the buyers or the sellers, and they generate many information about various securities, maybe the financial assets. The financial assets include all the bonds we have studied already, the shares, debentures, bonds, and securities of the corporate sectors, government, everything. So, all these participants, those who engage in the buying and selling of the securities, they generate the information and they spread this information to various segments of the market. So, this helps to reduce the cost of transaction of the financial assets. Here we can include the stock exchange also. So each and every day we listen to the news and TV or radio, the value of their shares, whether it is an increasing trend or decreasing trend. So all the people all over the world, they could come to know what is the value of a particular company's share or debenture. So it spread the information through the world, we can say. So it reduces the cost of transaction. Understood all the 7 points? I will explain once again in brief. Let us recollect once again the intermediary functions. The first one is transfer of resources. Financial markets transfer the resources from the lenders to the borrowers, those who need their money. The second point is enhancing income. Financial market helps the lenders to earn interest or dividend for their savings or their investment in the financial market. So what happening, their income is increasing. So it increases the individual income. Thus it leads to the enhancement of national income. Understood? The third point, productive usage. All the funds collected by the financial market are used for productive purposes. They never keep them as idle. So it increases the income of individual as well as the national income. Not only the national income, it increases the gross national production or gross domestic product. Okay. The fourth point is capital formation, because it acts as a channel which flows the savings from the investors to the industries. So this leads to capital formation of the country, because the amount or the money is not saved in the piggy banks, but it is given for the production in the country. So it forms the capital formation of the country. Then the fifth point is price determination. Price is determined by the buyers and sellers, those who are engaged in the financial market, and it depends upon the demand and supply of the financial assets. So the price varies as per the demand and supply of the financial assets. Now the sixth point, sale mechanism. Financial markets act as a selling mechanism for the investors to sell their financial assets. So they enjoy the benefits of marketability and liquidity of the financial assets. They can easily sell them, and they can buy the securities, and they can convert them into easily through this financial market. The last point is information, because all these participants in the financial market, they know the information of the various securities, and they spread this information throughout the country, or we can say throughout the world. So this reduces the cost of transaction of financial assets. I think you might have understood all the intermediary functions. Now we will go to the financial functions. Financial functions are related to finance. So they provide that finance to the borrowers from the lenders. So what function it is performing for the borrowers? They are providing funds for the borrowers to enable them to carry out their investment plans or productive plans. So it is providing funds for the borrowers to carry out their investment plans. Second point is it is providing assets for the lenders. So they are getting the money from the lenders and it is giving to the borrowers. So it is providing the lenders with earning assets because they are earning amount. We learned in the function that enhancing income, so they are earning the interest or dividend, and they could increase the wealth by deploying their assets in productive ventures. So what is the second point? They are providing the lenders with the earning assets by deploying their assets in the productive ventures. Then the last point is for both of them they are providing liquidity in the market for just to trade their funds. The borrowers can get their funds, lenders can deliver their funds. So the last point, providing liquidity in the market. Understood? The 3 points I explain once again. Financial market provide the borrowers with the funds to enable them to carry out their own investment plans or productive plans. Second one, it's providing the lenders with earning assets by deploying their assets in productive ventures. The last one, it is providing liquidity in the market to facilitate trading of funds. Both of them can trade their funds, borrowers as well as lenders. Okay, we have completed the functions of financial market. Now we will learn the differences between new issue market and secondary market. What is new issue market? The shares which are issued for the first time in the companies. That is new issue market. We have not studied. No? Then secondary market where we trade the already issued shares or debentures, whatever be the bonds or securities, whatever be it is. So first you should know what is the meaning of this one. New issue market where the shares or securities are issued for the first time by the companies. And secondary market is the place where we trade the already issued shares or securities. Understood? So we can write the first point as the meaning. So what is new issue market? New issue market is the marketplace for new shares. You can write in this way, the marketplace for new shares is called new issue market. That short I have written NIM. You have to write new issue market. In small letters you have to write. So what is the meaning? The marketplace for new shares is called new issue market. Then secondary market, the marketplace for already issued shares is called secondary market. SM stands for secondary market. So that is the first point. Then second, other name. What are the other names given for these two markets? So the other name, new issue market is also called primary market or initial issue market. So it is also called as primary market or initial issue market. Now secondary market is also called as resale market. Secondary market is also called as resale market. So we have learnt 2 points. Then the third point is buying. Whether it is direct or indirect, that is the point. Only one word, key word is direct. So buying is direct in new issue market. We can buy directly from the companies. They will publish in the newspapers. In the prospectus will be published. They will write the number of shares available, then each value of that value of each share, and where we have to deposit that application money, which bank we have to deposit. All these details will be given. So it is direct. So that is the point. Buying is direct in new issue market. The opposite is indirect. So buying is indirect in secondary market. We do not need to consult that particular company to buy or sell in the secondary market. Secondary market, one best example is the stock exchange. So we have to buy or sell the shares or debentures or the securities indirectly, but not from the companies, indirectly in the stock exchange. So buying is indirect in secondary market. Then the fourth point, financing. So whom it provide this financing? So this financial market, it supplies funds to, not a financial market, the new issue market. It supplies funds for starting companies and existing companies. So they supply funds for starting companies or existing, both whether the new company or an existing company, the both can issue shares. But in the secondary market, that stock exchange or that financial market, they do not supply funds to companies. Here, the investors are those who have bought shares, those who are ready to sell the shares, they are trading the securities. So, there is no supply of funds to companies. How many times a security can be sold in the new issue market? That is the fifth point, time of sale. Securities are sold only once in the new issue market, because when they start a new company, they are issuing shares. Or very rare existing companies, that also one time. That is why it is given as only once in the new issue market. But in the secondary market, the securities are sold for many times. One person can buy, and if he thinks that he can sell that securities, he can sell, and again he can purchase. So a particular security can be sold or bought for several times. The innumerable times a particular security can be sold or bought. So securities are sold for many times. The sixth point, the persons involved in this market. In new issue market, the two persons are involved, company and investors. So you can write as a sentence, company and investors are involved in new issue market. And in secondary market, only investors are involved in the secondary market. Only the investors will purchase and they will sell. So here the company is not involved. Okay. Only investors are involved in the secondary market, but in the new issue market, both company and investors are involved. The seventh point is gained person. Who are the gained person in the new issue market? Here the company is the gained person in new issue market, because they issue shares and they could collect large funds to carry out their business. So here the company is the gained person in new issue market. In secondary market, the investors are the gained persons, because they buy the shares or they sell their shares. So the investors are the gained persons. Then the next point is intermediaries. Here the intermediaries in the new issue market, they are now named as underwriters. They get the shares and they will sell the shares to the public. So they are called as underwriters. The intermediaries are the underwriters. So you can write a sentence, underwriters are the intermediaries in new issue market. In secondary market, The brokers are the intermediaries in secondary market. The brokers are the jobbers that we will study in stock exchange. In the lesson stock exchange, who are the intermediaries in the secondary market. The main example for secondary market is the stock exchange. It is a full lesson. So there you will learn very well who are the brokers. So here the intermediaries are the brokers. The next point, ninth point, price. Here in new issue market, the price is fixed by the companies because they issue the companies issue the shares or debentures. So it will be fixed by the companies. Price of the securities will be fixed by the companies. I have written in simple sentence. When you read, you will understand and you can learn these points. Okay, the price of the securities will be fixed by the companies. And secondary market, the prices of the securities will be fluctuated. The price of the securities is fluctuated. It depends on the demand and supply of the securities. It varies. It will not be fixed by the companies or by the stock exchange. It is as we have learnt already, it is determined by the buyers and sellers. The 10th point is organizational difference. Here, under new issue market, there is no physical location because the companies issue shares and they publish in the newspaper, and the full right is given to the underwriters and they will be in charge to sell their shares. So there is no physical location of new issue market. But in secondary market, it has physical location, that is the stock exchange. We know our Indian stock exchange, it is situated in Mumbai, and many national stock that is national stock exchange also in Mumbai. Regional stock exchanges are available even in Chennai also. Chennai, Delhi, we have many, around 24 stock exchanges we have in India. So it has the physical location, that place where they trade is stock exchange. That is available in various places in India. But there is no physical location of new issue market because the company may issue the shares, but there is no particular place to go and buy or sell the shares. It is published in the newspaper and the whole share will be taken in charge by the underwriters. Here I have explained around the 10 points. All these 10 points I have written in simple English. If you need to write it down, you can write it down and learn. Otherwise, when you see the books, it will just, there also they have given the same thing, but I have given in simple English. You can learn all these 10 points. You have asked whether you have to learn all the 10 points, but for the 5 marks only they are going to ask this one. We will mark it later. At least 5 points you have to write. It is your choice. You can write all the 10 points also because it is very simple language. Understood, students? Now we will learn the next heading, classification of financial assets. This is the last heading in this lesson. There are two classification of financial assets. The first one, marketable assets. The second one, non-marketable assets. Okay. First one is the marketable assets. So what are marketable assets? What is the meaning of marketable assets? From the heading itself, marketable assets can be easily transferred from one person to another person without much difficulty. So they are called marketable assets. These assets can be transferred easily from one person to another without any difficulty. Some examples they have given, all the shares of all listed companies. So you should understand the word listed. This listed companies means official list will be given by the stock exchange. So in under that list, if a particular company is registered, only then they can sell or buy their securities. So if a company is listed in the stock exchange only, they can sell their shares. So shares of listed companies only can be marketable. The second one, government securities. All government securities can be marketable securities. Then bonds of public sector undertakings. That means the public companies. Public companies bonds can be marketable. They can be sold. So only these three securities can be marketable. So what is the meaning of marketable assets? The assets which can be easily transferred from one person to another person without much difficulty are called marketable assets. Some examples. First one, shares of listed companies, then government securities, then the bonds of public sector undertakings. Now we will learn the non-marketable assets. Second one, non-marketable assets. This is just opposite of the marketable assets. What are non-marketable assets? Non-marketable assets cannot be transferred from one person to another person easily. Not easily, with the difficulty also they cannot transfer. Okay, so non-marketable assets cannot be transferred from one person to another person easily. Examples, when you read, you will understand clearly. The bank deposits. Can we transfer our deposit to someone? No. But we can transfer, but not very easily. Then provident fund. That belongs to that particular person alone. Provident fund. Then pension fund. National savings certificates. So many certificates will be provided for saving money. That in the post office, that all these are national savings certificates. Then insurance policies. Insurance policies also will be taken under a person's name that cannot be transferred from one person to another person, or all these assets cannot be bought or sold in the stock exchange or any other place. Also we cannot buy and sell, but only the bank deposit, if at all that particular person, that one who has deposited, can transfer his amount. But the other one, pension fund, provident fund, they cannot at all transfer from one person to another person. You might have understood this non-marketable asset. The meaning is, non-marketable assets cannot be transferred from one person to another person easily. 5 examples are given: bank deposits, provident funds, pension funds, national savings certificates, and insurance policies. Okay. I think we have completed this lesson. Okay, with this we have completed this fourth lesson, Introduction to Financial Market. Now we will mark the question answers that we have left out without marking. In the very short answer, we have marked all the 4 question answers. Now the 5th one. How is price decided in a secondary market? The answer is given in page number 26, but it is not very clear what is given in the textbook. So we can mark this one from the notes that I have given under the intermediary functions, price determination. Okay. Price is this heading you can learn, price determination. You can write the first point as like this: price determination of the traded financial asset is done through the interaction of buyers and sellers. Then the second point, it depends on the demand and supply of the financial assets. These 2 points you can mark. Short answers, we have marked all the 4 question answers. Meaning definition, spot market from future market, secondary market, scope of financial market. Now long answers, distinguish between new issue market and secondary market. It is given in page number 27. Here the differences you can learn from the book or from the notes that I have shown to you. So either any of one you can learn. There are 10 points as I have explained to you. You can select some points, at least 5, or whatever points you can learn, you learn. Okay, now the next one. Third one we have marked role of financial market. Fourth one, what are the functions of financial market? It is in page number 26. The functions also you can learn either from the book or from the notes that I have written and shown to you. Okay, next the fifth one, discuss the various types of financial markets. They have given markets, you have to cut that one and you have to write as assets. That is given in page number 28. This also you can learn the same thing only I have explained to you. You can learn either from the textbook or from the note that I have written and shown. Okay students, I have completed one chapter, the fourth chapter. You have to learn all the question answers including the choose the correct answer, everything you have to learn and you have to write and send it in the group. So you have daily lesson you have to learn. I am telling every day you learn your lesson and write sincerely and send it in the group. Okay, we will go to the next chapter in the next class. Thank you students. Bye.